Imagine a mind not bound by the world it sees, but one that builds new worlds within itself. Think of a boy who could see inventions in a flash of light, complete and perfect in his imagination, before ever touching a tool or drawing a blueprint. This was the mind of Nikola Tesla. He was a dreamer, an inventor, a man who saw the invisible forces of the universe as a playground of possibility. His story is not just about electricity or gadgets, it's a journey into the very nature of creativity. It's about how one person's way of thinking, so different and so brilliant, could illuminate the entire planet and change the course of human history forever. Nikola Tesla was born at the stroke of midnight during a fierce lightning storm in a small Serbian village in 1856. The midwife, frightened, called it a bad omen, a child of darkness. His mother said no, he will be a child of light. Early life steeped in the natural world, dramatic weather, rolling hills, powerful forces of nature. His mother, Nicola Tesla, was a powerful influence. She could not read, yet she was an inventor in her own home, creating mechanical tools and appliances. She had a photographic memory and could recite epic poems by heart. From her, Tesla inherited creativity and the belief he could build the machines he saw in his mind. One cold, dry day, he was stroking his cat, Macaque, when he saw its fur crackle with tiny sparks of static electricity. He was mesmerized. What was this invisible force? Where did it come from? His father explained it was the same phenomenon as lightning, just on a much smaller scale. This early encounter was a call to adventure. To understand Tesla's greatest gift to the world, we must first understand the problem he solved. In the late 19th century, electricity was a new and wondrous thing, but it had a major limitation. The system used at the time, promoted by Thomas Edison, was called direct current, or DC. Think of DC as a river flowing steadily in one direction. It worked well for short distances, but to send it far you needed thick, expensive copper cables and power plants every few miles. Tesla saw this limitation not as a roadblock, but as a puzzle waiting for a solution. He envisioned a different kind of electrical flow, more elegant, more efficient, more powerful. He imagined a current that didn't just flow one way but pulsed back and forth, alternating its direction 60 times every second. This vibration could be stepped up to very high voltage to travel long distances and stepped down at its destination. The idea for the AC motor, the key to unlocking this system, came to him fully formed while walking in a park in Budapest. He saw how a rotating magnetic field could be created by multiple alternating currents, causing a motor to spin without direct contact. With the AC motor, Tesla had designed not just an invention, but an entire ecosystem of electricity. It was a complete, end-to-end vision for powering the entire planet. This concept was elegant, efficient, and scalable. Armed with his revolutionary vision for alternating current, Tesla arrived in America with little more than a dream and a letter of recommendation to Thomas Edison. At first, the two great minds worked together, but their philosophies were fundamentally different. Edison was a master of trial and error and built his empire on direct current. Tesla was a theorist who saw AC as the only logical future. Edison dismissed it as dangerous. Vintage headlines screamed, "The dangers of alternating current." He and his associates publicly electrocuted stray animals, dogs, cats, even an elephant, to frighten the public. It was a dark chapter where fear was used as a weapon against a superior idea. Tesla knew he had to fight back not with fear, but with spectacle and scientific proof. He partnered with George Westinghouse, an industrialist who saw AC's potential. At the 1893 exposition, they lit the White City with brilliant electric lights, proving AC's power and safety to millions. The ultimate triumph came at Niagara Falls. When the switch was flipped in 1896, hydroelectric power sent AC 20 miles to Buffalo. The war was won. While the war of the currents raged on, Tesla's mind was leaping ahead to wireless communication. He believed the universe was filled with an invisible medium, an ether, that could carry energy and information. If he could tap into it, he thought he could send signals across the globe without wires. He began experimenting with high-frequency currents and resonant transformers, building the Tesla coil. The coil generated massive voltages and spectacular fields of electrical energy. Fluorescent bulbs could glow across a room with no wires attached. Proof power could travel through the air. By 1895, long before Marconi's transatlantic signal, Tesla had laid out the fundamentals of radio. He built transmitters and receivers and planned long-range tests that could have made him the father of radio. Then tragedy struck. A fire destroyed his New York laboratory. Equipment, notes, years of work burned. It set him back, and the world waited for someone else to rediscover what he already knew. Marconi later gained fame, but in 1943 the U.S. Supreme Court overturned key Marconi patents, recognizing Tesla's prior work. Tesla had conceived antennas, tuning circuits, and intelligible wireless transmission. His work laid the invisible groundwork for radios, cell phones, and Wi-Fi that connect our modern world. After the fire, Tesla's ambition only grew larger and more cosmic in scale. He moved to Colorado Springs to conduct massive experiments. High-voltage, high-frequency experiments produced spectacular artificial lightning. He built the magnifying transmitter, a colossal device designed to use Earth as a conductor. He planned to send resonant pulses into the ground, creating standing waves the world could pick up like a ringing bell. He produced 100-foot artificial lightning and lit lamps wirelessly miles away. With backing from J.P. Morgan, he built Wardenclyffe, a 187-foot tower topped with a copper dome. It was a first station for a world wireless system, the 1901 version of the Internet. When Morgan realized Tesla aimed to transmit free power, he pulled funding. Construction stopped. The skeletal tower stood silent. It was dismantled and sold for scrap. The heartbreaking end to an audacious project. The vision broke him, but the idea lived on. The failure of Wardenclyffe marked a turning point in Tesla's life. He had poured all his energy, reputation, and finances into this grand project. Its collapse left him professionally and emotionally scarred. He had given the world alternating current, the system making men like Westinghouse and Morgan wealthy. Yet he was left with very little. He had sold valuable AC patents to save the company, an act of loyalty that cost him a personal fortune. As years went on, his ideas grew more esoteric. Particle beams, death rays, communication with other planets. Some foreshadowed later science, but contemporaries found them far-fetched. He spent later years in New York hotels feeding pigeons, caring for injured birds, a humble, solitary existence. Tesla died alone and in debt in 1943 at 86. For many years, his name faded into relative obscurity. The price of his genius, misunderstood and forgotten by the civilization he transformed. But a mind like Tesla's cannot be forgotten forever. The universe remembers. While his name faded, his legacy hummed in the walls of our homes, powering our cities and carrying our voices. Every time you flip a light switch, you are completing a circuit that Tesla designed. The alternating current flowing through that wire is the result of his victory in the War of the Currents. The fabric of our modern life is woven with threads of his imagination. Radio, television, cell phones, Wi-Fi, remote controls, GPS. He dreamed of a world connected without wires. His vision is now our daily reality. Beyond inventions, Tesla's greatest legacy might be his way of thinking, visualization, and daring to imagine the impossible. He has become a hero to a new generation. So, what is the final lesson from our journey into the mind of Nikola Tesla? It's that the universe is not just something to be observed, it is something to be imagined. Tesla's laboratory was, first and foremost, the space between his ears. It was there that he bent the laws of physics and built the future. The most profound discoveries begin not with data, but with a question, a vision, a leap of creative faith. He dared to ask, what if? By the world's standards, he died poor, alone, stripped of accolades. Yet he gave humanity gifts of such immense value they are almost impossible to quantify. He lit the world. He connected it. He set it on a new technological course. Be curious. Question everything. The next world-changing idea might come from a young person, stroking a cat. It might come from you. The universe is powered by electricity. Humanity is powered by imagination. The child of light, born in a lightning storm, has taken his place among the greatest minds.